I could film this. All right. I got to turn down some of this stuff in the background. I don't know how that works. Okay. Let's see if I can. Ba-boom! Alright. We got the axle rose. Lots of bolts. These are freaking heavy. Smells like Harbor Freight. Okay. Damn, these are shitty. These are not real good. Okay. I'm really surprised how heavy these are. My other welding cart though has metal and rubber wheels. 6 by 1.5. And then is this one handle or two? Two handles. Okay. You got the top plate right there. Okay. So we need to get the bottom plate, I guess. It's got some big bubbles underneath the paint here. Huge. Harbor Freight is well known for having rust on these. So let's see here. But this is going to be a pain to do. Let's get this out of here and we can get this box on its way. Okay. Shouldn't be anything else in here. It's amazing how this all like packs together. Like, I can't quite get this one out, but anyway, it does pack in here quite tightly. And that does not want to come out. We got a little tube right here for this piece, and oh, there we go. Is there something else under here? Oh yeah, there's a few pieces. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is going to be the bottom. We'll go ahead and put that together first. We could look in the instructions and see if they had like a specific thing they wanted done, but basically, you know, it shouldn't be too complicated. The one thing I don't really see is the pin. There it is. Okay. So let's go ahead. Got one pin. And then I think these are going to be some washers. Take a look here just really quick. Easier to look than to be wrong later. Says to put the bolts here, casters to the bottom, spring washer and a flat washer and a nut. Alright, well, get chains. Now, I would think, wouldn't you want a washer on both sides? To me, it seems a little strange. I think you would want a flat washer. These holes are really, really big on this thing compared to what they should be. I don't understand why they're doing this the way they're doing it. Makes no sense to me. I think they're doing it wrong. I want the washer on the inside here. I don't want it on the outside. You don't need a flat washer up against a spring washer, do you? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. So I'm just getting these bolts in here. It's going to take forever. But I don't feel like getting up and pausing the video. Okay. So I'm putting the washer on the head of the bolt before I stick it on here, because the hole is big. Now, I don't know why they want it done like that. I really don't. Let's see what it says. Using 4 sets of bolts, spring washers, flat washers, and nuts, attach a caster to the shelf bottom. Repeat on the other side. Okay. Yeah. Connect the middle and the blah blah blah. There's very, very limited instructions here, but they, for some reason, want a flat washer and a spring lock washer. They call it a spring, but spring washer and a flat washer, and then a nut. It doesn't make sense. These guys are nuts. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this very easily. Yeah, I'm having trouble doing this like that. Come. Come on. This is going to take forever. We got one. Another washer. Come on. My other cart, the screws are on backwards. They they've got them coming through the other end. And we'll tighten up all this crap later. I just want to get it on there. And like some people have said, just kind of square it up and then tighten it. This is like the slowest way to do this, by the way. Two, three, four. And 20 washers. 2, 3. Okay, let's get the first one on. Now the paint on this is actually pretty good compared to my old cart. This is more like a probably powder coat maybe. And I got 2 more. Come. Come on. Okay, so now we just need to find our other cotter pin. Do the 2 washers. Okay. Got our axle. This thing's pretty heavy duty, by the way. Now, I'm going to make sure there's not supposed to be like another washer in between. There is. Maybe a washer there. Yeah. I don't see. They show axle, flat washer. Put the wheel on the end of the axle on the bottom shelf and secure it with 1 flat washer and a cotter pin. Repeat on the other side. But they show what looks like a washer on the inside of the axle. And there's a right and wrong way to put these on. They also don't tell you that. I'm going to guess it's got to be this way, because if you put it on another way, you would end up being too close. Let's get our washer on here. We got a cotter pin. Okay. Make sure you get that end on there, not that end. Because if you do this one, your wheel's going to rub up against the side. Right. We're just about ready. Okay. Got our cotter pin in here. So we got a wagon. Right out the gate. This thing is horrible. They did not like lube the bearings. Alright. What do we got to do next? We got the side pieces. Let's see, so it comes up here, the tank sits back here. Well, that is weird. The other one's not like this. This piece right here, oh, the whole thing, it's not even welded. Why would they do that? There's no welds right here. It's completely open in the corners. That is strange. So this is just a piece of stamped metal, I guess. Jeez. Okay. It's like saran wrap or something on this. Strange. Yep. It is literally saran wrap. That, probably that. Jeez. Okay. Seems not too bad. I mean, it could be a little thicker. A little thicker would be nice, but, you know. Let's see what we got here. What I'd like to do is get these pieces out of the way. So these ones here, this other cart's just a little bit different. I'm looking at my other cart and I'm like, It needs to be like that. Yeah, okay. It's still strange why they show the washers. Like, there's no washer on the head of the bolt. And the problem is that the holes are way bigger than the bolts. The hardware for this is too small. They should have used bigger screws. I saw a review of this on Harbor Freight's website. They said, yeah, the bolts are too small. It is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and put the washers on the other side for these ones. Okay. We got there 2, 3. Okay. Alright. I don't want to spill those on the floor. And I just did anyway. It's annoying. Oh, come on, dude. Is that even right? Jeez. I don't know if this is right or not. Now, yeah, these are going to have to go the other way on these ones. Because the lock washer is about the same size as the frickin' hole. This is a terrible design, guys. Not good. Alright. I don't need to film all that. But let me just show you. It's not good. They used the wrong size hardware because they're cheap. So, you look at the hole here. Okay. They should have gave you a bunch of those washers. These were not drilled for this type of hardware. There's no way. Now look at these. See this? So that's going to want to fall in the hole there. And we're going to have to just use it like that. And then we have to have this on the other side with the washer on the back side. You see how they show it? And then the thing is, they don't even have them on there correctly. I don't know. So the spring washer, and then the flat washer, and then the nut. I don't know, it doesn't seem quite right to me. So let me show you. So you could move this thing that much because of the hardware they decided to use is too small for the large hole. So you're going to have to get this thing set up correctly, or you need to swap these bolts for the correct bolts. Look at this. So the hardware, well, once you get this squared up here, I think, you know, you're probably good. But God, I mean, like, what were they freaking thinking? There's too much. It's just too sloppy. It's like wrong size bolts, you know, just, I don't know what size bolt those would be. What? This is ridiculous. Right, so another thing that's a problem with these is just like they vary. They say they're M6 bolts, but anyway, 3/8 and 10 millimeters don't quite fit most of the time. So I think what I'm going to do is leave this tray out, and I should be able to put 2 welders on this cart. That's the idea. The interesting thing about this one, see how these aren't welded on the corners? The old style cart, they were welded. But also these bolts, well, I believe they're supposed to be a 10 millimeter, but they're kind of in between, and they're inconsistent from one bolt to another. And I read the reviews, so I was like, oh, they just must be 3/8. Well, no, because 3/8 doesn't fit on some of them, and other ones it does. And then also, the holes are so big that the lock washer almost wants to go through the hole. And they just, it's not the right hardware. And I'll show you here a guy, what is this? A guy, also they show different, this one shows 1 bolt here. This one actually has 2. But the guy put one together and he used different size bolts. I forget. So they're saying they're M6 by 12. But yeah, this is for the old cart. I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to show you. Because I have the old cart. Right here. See those wheels? That's those wheels. That's not these plastic ones. Okay. And this cart here, unless previous owner did that, the corners are welded. And they still use the same silly ass hardware. But yeah, the difference is, see right here. So the old cart had just the 1 bolt right there, and the new cart doesn't have it in the middle. It has 2 off to the side, and they're welded. But these old carts, they had a habit of doing this because Harbor Freight, or whoever like actually made them for Harbor Freight, didn't take care of the metal very well. Now, if you look here, this person did it correctly. They put the washer on the outside, the lock washer on the inside. Whatever reason, Harbor Freight's telling you to do it the other way. And that's not normal practice. Normal practice is you have the washer on the outside. That way, the bolt can turn without grinding up the face of the metal. And the washer locks on the backside. And also, you see right here, there's a bolt down here. I'm missing one right there. Now, strangely enough, what they did instead of giving you that bolt was they took it away and they put it here. So, anyway, what I'm going to do with mine is just leave the bottom tray out. I think this one might be a little thinner sheet metal. But they did them differently back then. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think that was powder coated. I think these ones are powder coated. So they didn't give you that bolt down there. And then you have these other holes right here, which I don't know what they're for. But they're telling you to put the bolts through, and they want the washer. Let me find a really good picture of it. Okay. They want the spring washer, which is small, underneath the flat washer, and then the nut. That makes no sense. I don't know why they did it like that. So the problem with this cart, and I'll show you, is you see how far we are here? If you have a tank, like a larger tank, if your tank is bigger than this, you're gonna have problems. So that's a 60 or 80 cubic foot tank. Then you see it's these are just what they call knee-high tank. So they just come up to here. The Lincoln also is a little shorter than the Yes Welder, but if you see here, if we were to move it all the way back, if we had a tank that was taller, it would hit the back of the Lincoln, and it would actually be right in the middle of the way of the gas. So that's one of the problems with the design that they have here. It's what they should have did, I think, maybe was just made this a little like flatter. I think it's too extreme. You can also see that this particular unit here is not square. So we got to tighten this too, but it's not square, so we got some issues going on with it, the way it was put together. But here we see this one here, nice and square, but there's no room for a big tank. You're just not going to get a full-size tank because your welder's going to hit it. So you gotta have to have a small tank, otherwise it ain't going to work. Anyway, guys, sorry for the really long video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see what we can fit in the bottom. I'm going to try and get my other welder to go in here. Actually, I'll probably try that really quick before we go. So the idea was I could have one that would be for plasma cutting, and then maybe one down below for stick, or maybe flux. Let's see if this one fits. I'm hoping it does. Now, you would have to pull the damn thing out of here, you know, every time you needed to change anything. You could probably prop something up in here and make it fit, you know. But yeah, it's a it's too short. You could modify this cart to make it fit, but let me show you. Okay. There's a air hose fitting here, and then see, we don't want it sitting there riding on that. Now, if you didn't have a tank and you could move this thing back, you could re-engineer this cart, and there's a bunch of things you could change. You could also probably fold this down since it's not welded and just extend that out a little bit. So I think what I would probably do in this case is I'll cut a board, and I'll have a board that just sits out there, piece of plywood, oop, and then you know, I'll put a little stop on it so it can't go back all the way, and we'll just have this welder sitting there like that. and that should work for me. Otherwise, you know, you see, you can put the other shelf in here. In fact, if you were to take the handle off of this one, I think you could probably put the shelf in here still and be able to do all that. But, I mean, all in all, you can't build that cart for $39, $49, you know, in raw steel. So, as much as we want to be crafty, it's so much easier just to go ahead and buy it. So that'll wrap it up for this one, guys.